Lighthouse Beams Ministry.
Hello, good evening viewers. Thank you once again for viewing another video with Lighthouse Beam Ministry. We really appreciate you for viewing our videos. Now tonight, my name is Clement Jackson, and tonight our speaker for tonight will be Clinton Harmon. Now, Mr. Clinton Harmon, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right.
Tell the viewers.
I'm a medical missionary, and I'm working at a ministry called Alternativa in a little town called Coripampa, which is about 2 hours into the mountains in the Bolivian highlands from a city called Cochabamba. We are a medical missionary training center, and we have a vegan restaurant. So our presentations in which we present you are about the health message, health reform and things like that, and also about natural medicines. We do ozone therapy, we do natural hydrotherapy, and we train people to do these things as well. We also do organic gardening, so we do whole country living, teaching people the practicalities of country living as well.
Amen.
And we also own a little home church here, which we invite the local community to come and have worship with us on Sabbath.
Amen. Okay, so tonight his presentation will be about the Hebrew mindset of creation in relation to the Sabbath.
Correct.
So, can you please lead us in this presentation?
All right. Are you a Sabbath keeper?
Yes, I am.
You are a Seventh Adventist.
Yes, I am.
Could you explain to me what that means to be a Seventh Adventist? To start Seventh day and then Adventist. What do those two words mean?
Okay, so by definition of the word Seventh-day Adventist, Seventh-day Adventist means the second coming or the great Advent that is to come. So it is the second coming of Jesus Christ. And 7-day Sabbath means the biblical creation Sabbath, Saturday Sabbath. So I believe in the second coming of Jesus Christ and in the 7-day Saturday Sabbath of the Bible.
Excellent. We're gonna look deeper into this. Can you open your Bibles to Luke chapter 1 verse 17 and read me that verse?
Okay, thank you. Sure. Luke chapter 1 verse 17. It reads, "And he shall go forth, and he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elias, to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for the Lord."
What you describe as a Seventh Adventist, would you say that relates to you as a Seventh Adventist?
Yes.
They would give you the definition of what you believe.
Yes.
Who was that person that was mentioned in that verse?
This person was John the Baptist, the son of Zacharias.
So would you say that as John the Baptist was back then, getting people ready to accept Jesus Christ, the first Advent, we as Adventists today are calling on to the second Advent?
Yes.
So John the Baptist would be an example for us?
Yes, he would be a perfect example for us today as Seventh-day Adventists.
I want you to read a quotation to me from Courage and Conflict and Courage from Ellen White.
Okay.
This is the quotation is right there. Would you read it to me?
Okay.
To read it to the viewers.
It reads, Conflict and Courage, page 271, paragraph 2. It reads, "God had called the son of Zacharias to a great work, the greatest ever committed to men. John was to go forth as Jehovah's messenger to bring to men the light of God. He must give a new direction to their thoughts." End quote.
The son of Zechariah, who was? The son of Zechariah?
He was John the Baptist.
And it says there, the greatest work.
Yes.
The great work, the greatest ever committed to men.
Yes.
So that great work that was commissioned to John the Baptist has now been passed on to us to call on to the second coming of Christ. We have a great commission. All right, now, right at the end there, it says that we are to bring light to the world.
Amen.
But it says, he must give a new direction to their thoughts.
Amen.
The people of the time of John the Baptist and getting people ready for the first coming of Christ, did they have a problem with their thoughts?
Yes, apparently yes.
We today are generally call ourselves Western.
Yes.
All right. People like to actually relate ourselves with the United States, which is the ultimate example of almost Western society. Western society is based upon Greek philosophy. So the Bible is written in what mindset?
A Hebrew mindset.
So we have two mindsets. We have the Greek mindset and we have a Hebrew mindset.
Yes.
So if we are to be like John the Baptist, there's a problem with our mindset. That means we need to relate to the Bible, because we are teaching the Bible. We need to return back to the Hebrew mindset and get rid of this Western Greek philosophy.
Amen.
Because we have this Greek philosophy, we'll actually reject Christ just like the Pharisees and the people that time, which were craving for that kind of mindset.
Yes.
So, Ellen White, which is to me an incredible writer inspired by God, there was a rabbi that had a terrible time in Europe. His mother was raped by a Roman Catholic priest and saying, "How dare you deny Christ?" But you don't convert people like that. You don't force people, you don't cohort them into believing things that you want to believe. Even though you might be right in the belief that you're a Christian and those people are wrong, you do not force people to do that. So this person, this rabbi, had this horrible experience. And he wanted nothing to do with Christianity. Nothing at all. He wanted nothing to do with Christ. If this is the person reflecting the character of Christ, brother, I want nothing to do with it. And I would be exactly the same as this poor rabbi. Anyway, he came to the United States seeking a better life and freedom from the horrors of his upbringing. And of course, he wanted nothing to do with Christ, never read the New Testament. But one day, somebody, praise the Lord, gave him the great controversy.
Amen.
Gave him a book by Ellen White. He opened that book and he read it, and he was absolutely amazed. He says, "I am a Hebrew. I read this, and I see this woman must understand Hebrew thinking. She must be a really deep study of the Hebrew mind and the Hebrew study. She must be almost Jewish. I want to know who this Ellen White lady was."
Wow.
So he goes off and he investigates, and probably to the white state, and he says, "Man, I want to know about this Ellen White lady. She's incredible. Tell me, what's her upbringing? What's her education?" Third grade education. No Hebrew teaching. How did she come to this conclusion? How could she be writing in the Hebrew mind?
Power of the Holy Spirit.
Amen. So the Lord is trying to tell us, as Adventists today, to bring us back to the original mind, which is the Hebrew mind, and to understand the deeper things of the Bible. Because if we don't have the mind of the Bible, we can have conflict. We can have contradictions, which many people find, and people that are atheists or whatever, they can read this and nothing's going to make sense to them. They don't mix with that. So the Holy Spirit wants us to conform to that. So yes, of course, he read it and he became a Christian. He became a Seventh Adventist as well, because you're related to Sabbath. Now, the question is, for you, before we start our study, when did the Sabbath start? When was that law given to the universe, to us? Was it in heaven? Was the angels keeping Sabbath before us? All right, I want you to read a quotation to me. Early Writings, page 217. Will you read this quotation?
Okay. Early Writings, page 217, paragraph 2. It reads, "I was shown that the law of God would stand fast forever and exist as a new earth to all eternity. All the creation, when the foundation of the earth were laid, the sons of God looked with admiration upon the work of creation, and all the heavenly hosts shouted for joy. It was then that the foundation of the Sabbath was laid."
When was that?
At creation.
At creation, 6,000 years ago. So the Sabbath is actually 6,000 years old.
Yes.
Isn't that interesting?
Amen.
Something that wasn't
very interesting.
originated in heaven, but it originated in heaven by God himself, but it was instituted 6,000 years ago.
Yes.
All right, continue.
At the close of the 6 days of creation, God rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made, and he blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work. The Sabbath was instituted in Eden before the fall, and was observed by Adam and Eve and all the heavenly hosts. Continuing the quote, "God rested on the seventh day and blessed and hallowed it. I saw that the Sabbath never will be done away, but that the redeemed saints and all the angelic hosts will observe it in honor of the great Creator to all eternity. End quote. Early writings, page 217, paragraph 2.
So would you say there's a deep connection between Sabbath and what God instituted as the Sabbath and our connection with Him?
Absolutely.
The people that put Jesus Christ on the cross, were they Sabbath keepers?
Yes.
Did they miss the point here? Big time.
Yes.
Big time. How did they put the creator of the Sabbath on the cross and crucify Him?
Well, it was because of their mindset that they had.
Correct. So we have to change that.
Yeah.
So let me show you from the Hebrew point of view what the Sabbath's all about.
Okay.
All right. Open your Bibles, Genesis chapter 1.
Okay.
Read to me verses 1.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. It reads, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth."
All right, so let's do this on this board. It says, in the beginning, God. So just like God.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's go on. Let's read to me verses 2 to 5.
Verses 2 to 5. Genesis chapter 1, verses 2 to 5.
Before you read that,
Uh-huh.
do you know what a chiasm means?
No.
You don't know what a chiasm is?
No.
All right. Chiasm is almost, it's very Hebrew.
Okay.
For example, you're a student of Daniel Revelation.
Yes.
All right. If you do Daniel chapter 1, it corresponds to Daniel chapter 2. Daniel chapter 2 corresponds to the 11. So they work together.
Okay.
All right. So if you want to, for example, Revelation is written the same way. So Revelation, if you want to understand the part 1 and 2, chapters 1 and 2, you look at the end of the Bible, end of the chapters, and you see them answering to chapters 1 and 2.
Okay.
And then as you go closer and closer to the center, this is kind of like how the Hebrews wrote.
Okay.
So you'll see the same in the Genesis chapter 1. There's a chiasm.
Is it the same as Hebrew parallelism? Or is it different from Hebrew
You can
parallelism?
call it parallelism, but chiasm is the word we use for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to explain the chiasm.
Okay.
And you'll see that how there is a fulfillment on each side.
Okay.
All right, so continue there. So chapter verses 2 to 5.
So in Genesis chapter 1, verses 2 to 5, if you have a King James Version Bible, you can follow me as I read in your hearing. It says, verse 2, "And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters." Verse 3, "And God said, Let there be light, and there was light." Verse 4, "And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness." Final verse. "And God called the light day, and the darkness He called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day."
All right, so we have day 1. Day 1. I'm going to write the title up here. If you read in the verses 4, it says God divided.
Yes.
So we're going to write a divide. Divide. We should just write dividing. Okay. So we have dividing of what?
Light.
Day 1. From what? So we have light.
From darkness.
And then we have darkness.
Yes.
Let's write dark. Okay, write darkness. Okay. All right. Day 2. Next day. Sorry, let's do that. Okay. Can you read to me verses 6 and 8?
Okay, Genesis chapter 1, verses 6 and
8 to 8 to 8.
6 to 8. It reads, "And God said, Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so." The final verse, verse 8. "And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day."
So, remember we have titled dividing. So what did God divide in that day 2?
In day 2, God divided the waters from under the heavens.
Which is, okay, that's right, water. From what?
Under the firmament,
What is a firmament?
which is the heaven.
Which is what we call today.
The heaven, which is what today we call.
Yeah, but heaven, if you say to the average, the common people in the street, look at heaven, they're going to think regardless. So what do
Okay.
we say today is the heaven?
Okay, so we will say the sky.
There we go. So sky. All right. Let's go to day 3. You see the dividing? Very clear
Yes,
there?
I see the dividing.
God's using dividing? Okay. Let's
Think you have to
continue.
put 3 there
Sorry. Yes. Day 3. Okay.
and D there. D-I-V, D.
That's right.
Okay. So,
Okay. So let's read from verses 9 to 10.
Okay, verses 9 to 10, Genesis chapter 1. We will continue reading. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together under one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. Verse 10, and God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good.
So what did God divide?
He divided the waters from the earth.
Water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we already have water there, so all right. Now let's continue. This verse, we're still in day 3, but let's
Okay.
continue this verses 11 to 13.
Okay, verses 11 to 13, Genesis 1. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. Verse 12. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. Verse 13. And the evening and the morning were the third day.
All right. So we have plants. All right. Now we can actually go and read where Adam and Eve were put into. They were put into the Garden of Eden.
Yes.
All right. Was the Garden of Eden their home?
Yes.
It was their home. So when we have plants and gardens and those type of things, we can kind of think of a home.
Yes.
All right. So plant, home.
Nature.
Okay. So we're going to get a home for all this dividing. We're going to show the fulfillment of that, which is like the home of these places.
Yes.
Let's have a look. Very interesting. Let's continue. So let's read from verses 14 down to 19, and this is day 4.
4.
Yeah. 4, and let's fulfill. Alright, okay. So, actually, I need to write this thing. Can you read it? Verses 14 to 19.
Genesis chapter 1, verses 14 to 19. We are on day 4. It reads, and God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for a season, and for days, and years. Verse 15, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. Verse 17, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. Verse 18, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. Final verse, verse 19, and the evening and the morning were the 4th day.
All right. Did you get the word ruling in there?
Did I hear the what?
The word ruling.
Ruling, yes.
Fulfillment, I can actually add the word rulership. Okay. So this fulfillment is going to rule over that. So what ruled in that verse? The light.
The light.
Yeah, what ruled the light?
The greater light.
Which is?
The sun.
Here we go. And what rules the darkness?
The lesser light, which is the moon.
Ah, there we go. Okay, let's go to day 5. So see the fulfillment?
Yes.
All right, continue. We're going to now read from verses 20 to 23.
Okay, Genesis chapter 1, verses 20 to 23. It says, "And God said, Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that had life." Verse 21, "And fowl that may fly above the earth in open firmament of heaven. In the open firmament of heaven." Verse 21, "And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good." Verse 22, it reads, "And God blessed them, saying, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the sea, and let fowl multiply in the earth." Final verse, "As the evening as the morning were the fifth day."
All right, so tell me, what rules the water?
The creatures that were brought
From the
forth,
Bible, it tells you,
the moving creatures,
which is what from the waters.
the whales, the fishes, etc.
All right, so like fish.
Uh-huh.
We know fish live in water.
Oh, yes.
So the sky, what came out of the waters? They live in the
Fish.
sky.
Mm-hmm.
What's the Bible say?
The birds,
There we go. Birds.
the fowl
Now,
creatures.
would you agree that fishes rule the waters?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say the birds rule the sky?
Yes.
There we go. Isn't it interesting how
Yes,
this is working?
yes, the chiasm is very interesting. Thank you.
Let's continue. Let's go to now that was day 5, this is day 6. Let's read verses 24 and 25.
Verses 24 to 25, it says, Genesis chapter 1. "And God said, Let the earth bring forth the living creatures after his kind, cattle and creeping things, and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so." Verse 25. "And God made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after her their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good."
All right, so what rules the earth?
The creatures, the land creatures,
Animals.
the animals, yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right, now we have this. So God creates all these things. Okay, he creates them how? How does he create it?
He spoke them into existence.
That's correct. When you speak, what is something interesting that is revealed by the way you speak?
Your character,
Your character.
or your mindset, which is your character,
Which is
your thinking
yeah.
pattern.
Well, actually, let's read your Bibles. Let's go to Luke 6, verse 45.
Okay, Luke 6, verse 45.
Yes.
Jesus speaking, of course, "A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the heart, his mouth speaketh."
So God spoke all this in existence.
Yeah.
And we know that in the chapter it says this was good. So it's not a evil or anything. All right, so I want to bring. There is so much to share on this that I can speak on the subject for weeks and months. But I want to just bring in some points of this before we get to the man as the creator, the creation of man. Light is a reflection of God's character, not darkness, because there's no such thing. Light is a replacement of darkness. Okay, so
Darkness is the absence of light.
yeah, so there's no such thing. Okay, now light and water, are they the same thing?
Light and water.
Are they the same thing? No, they're not. It's not. So light has a certain aspect of God's character. That is different from water.
Okay.
But they both reflect God's character.
Yes.
So everything of your water, light, water, sky, sun, moon, fish, birds, animals, all reflect a certain part of God's character.
Yes.
God's character isn't completely revealed in an animal.
Yes.
Because the fish has a certain part of God's character as well, which an animal does not reflect. The sun is different from the fish, but yet the sun reflects God's character. And we can just continue with that. So these things all have individual little parts of God's character.
Yes.
Now, let's go to the creation of man. And let's go to Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 to 28.
So we will return to Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 to 28. So Genesis chapter 1 for our viewers, verses 26 to 28. I will read in your hearing from the King James Version Bible. It says, "And God said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." Verse 27, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them." Final verse 28, "And God blessed them, and God said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth."
Wow. So, when God created man, he embeds a lot more in that explanation than anything else he created.
Yes.
So let's write it in now. So this part of the 6-day creation, none of these were made in the image of God. So we have now a creation of which is now man, as you and I.
Yes.
But it says in the image. So we say man made or created in the image. This image word is so important. When we fell from the glory of God by taking on sin, we no longer reflect the image of God. Because God is holy, we're not holy. God is trying to conform us back to the image of God. He's trying to restore us back to this original creation. So let me ask you a question. What is the purpose to your life?
My purpose in life is to reflect the image of the Lord Jesus Christ.
That is the purpose to all of us. Let me put it in other words. Our purpose to life is for Christ to conform us back to the image of God. It's not to conform us to an animal. It's not to conform us to any of these subtle things, but to return us back to this desire.
Yes. Restoration.
Restoration. Christ came to restore us back to this.
Yeah.
Now, in there it talks about rulership and dominion. So God, when we return back to this image, reflecting God's character, because all this is character, but if we reflect the image of God, do we just reflect a certain part of God's character, like an animal does, or a bird and a fish? They all reflect a certain part, but they don't reflect the completeness of God.
Yes.
If man was made in the image of God, do you think they reflect more than an animal?
Yes, I think they reflect the image of God fully.
Amen.
Yeah.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yes, it is very
Do
much.
you know that there's nothing God ever created that's like that? Nothing that I've read in the Bible that can reflect God's character more than us.
It's a mind-blowing thought. Sorry, canvas. Yeah.
So when God says, I rested, you know what the word rest means?
Enlightenment.
He stopped. He stopped.
Ah.
Now, God's creation, when he says, God's character, which he spoke in existence, if God is an infinite God, how much is he need to create to reflect his character?
Come again?
If God creates all these things by speaking, so these are real aspects of his character. God is an infinite God.
Yeah.
How much does he need to create to reveal his character?
How much does it
How much does he need to create? He needs to create forever.
Yeah.
His character is infinite, so he has to create and create and create so people can see his character.
Yes.
But yet we are told in the Bible that he has stopped. He has stopped creating after man. So what is the continual reflection of God's character now? Man. Isn't it incredible? God does not need to create anymore. We are that permanent creation of God, an infinite character of God. So the angels and all God's created beings out there, they want to know, who is that God? This is God over there. They look at you and I.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible? So if we return to the image of God, reflecting His character, conforming to the image of God, there is nothing in creation that can compare to that.
Yeah.
What an honor.
Yeah, what
If you miss out on going to heaven, you miss out on doing this, the angels cannot comprehend that loss.
it will be a sad loss.
That's it. There is to be the infinite reflection of God's character, and for you to say, I want that. I want to rather just die and never be in existence again.
It will be a
That
tremendous
is
loss.
mind-boggling for any created being out there or anything out there to think, how on earth could you say that?
And for us to be lost, it will hurt the heart of God. God does not want us to be lost. He wants us to be saved.
Exactly. And He gave us His Son to return us back to this image. Now, so we have this, and we have dominion. We read that God gave us the privilege of dominion. He never gave dominion to any of these. Again, they gave dominion in their spheres of influence. But man was given influence over all this. This is God's character being revealed to us physically. He gave that responsibility to take care of that to His image. You and I. How are you looking after? How do people to be made in the image of God looking after His creation today? They're not doing a good job,
But
are they?
they're not doing a good job.
No. So we as Christians that are believing in to be like Christ, we have to take care of the things around us. Take care of the small things given to us by God, taking care of the animals, taking care of the nature, all these type of things. We take care of ourselves. We're supposed to have a health. Our bodies belong to Him. We have no right to destroy our bodies. Our bodies are incredibly designed.
It is the temple of the Holy God.
So what does dominion mean?
Dominion means to rule over.
To rule over. Now these things have rulership. So we have to give them rulership over all of this, not just little sections, the whole lot. How do we rule over that? Okay. We take care of it.
Yeah.
The Hebrew mind is to be a servant unto you. I beseech the betterment of you before myself. You are to be given more things than I would want, that I want you to have more than me. Isn't it? That's a wonderful thing. And so, yeah, God's given His created being, His image, this continual reflection of His, to take care of this, to take care of His character. You know, it's one of the interesting things that God's told us to live in the country. Get out of the city. The city destroys our image. Man has become an animal living in the cities. When we live in the country, it's not just to grow foods and to hide away from things. We are to come to the country to reflect and return to the image of God.
Yeah.
We are surrounded with His creation. We are back in our home.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what I'm reading, but at least planting the home environment. And we are to take care of these things by reflecting God. We are designed to reflect. We're not God, we only can reflect God. Okay, now, so we have dominion being taken care of. We have caretakers. What is the last thing He mentions in that verse?
Verse 28.
Yeah, what does it say?
Genesis chapter 1, verse 28, it says, and God blessed them and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply.
Amen. What does that mean?
To replenish the earth, to reproduce the image of God in the earth, by bringing forth children, etc.
Remember, it's going to do the character.
Yeah.
So let's put the word character in.
Okay, let's look at it in terms of character. Okay, so when it says in Genesis 1:28, God blessed them and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth.
Be fruitful and multiply.
And replenish. Okay.
When you have children, okay, that's relation also with children.
Yes.
When you have children, those children, your responsibility as rulership,
Yeah.
dominion,
Yes.
is to put that
It's character of God.
is to install the character of God. It's not just to have children. The world is doing a better job than the Christians are doing. Okay? It's not just that. We are to train our children to reflect the character of God. We are to set the example. We are to reflect the image of God, conform to the image. By conforming, we reflect God's character, and the children therefore reflect upon us. And therefore we guide them to God, and therefore they see God as their Father, and they take on that and they be fruitful and multiply.
You know, it's interesting that the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, so when he's old, he will not depart from it.
Amen.
So our goal is to train up the children in the way of the Lord so that they can reflect the image of Jesus Christ.
Also, very interesting word fruitful. Now, when we look at fruit of the Spirit, fruit of the Spirit, those are the things that we are to possess. So we are to train our children to reflect the fruits of the Spirit. What is the one that is the most important of the fruits of the Spirit?
It says the love.
Amen. What is the next thing of creation?
Okay. Genesis chapter 1.
1 verse 29 to 31.
29 to 31. It reads, Genesis chapter 1.
Sorry. What we're getting into now is about health. Okay. I want you to read about marriage. Let's read that. Read verse 29 and 2:31.
Okay, so Genesis chapter 1, verses 29 to 31.
Yeah.
It reads, And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed, which is upon the face of the whole earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. Genesis verse.
Okay, let's stop there. So what is our diet? What is the original diet?
It's a plant-based diet.
So we are to return to the original, return to the image of God. Would we not also need to return to the original design of our diet?
Yes.
What is our diet? As mentioned, it's a plant-based diet. So that means no eggs or dairy or any animal products.
Yes.
Okay, so that would be our commission. Continue.
Verse 30, it reads, And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. The final verse 31 of Genesis 1, that closes the chapter of Genesis 1, chapter 1, it says, And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good.
Okay.
And the evening and the morning, the sixth day.
Right now, I'm going to write you very good. Now, can you tell me, when God made all this, what did he say?
It was good.
It was just good.
Yes.
It was not very good,
But it was good.
It was good. So now we come to the end of creation, and it says very good. What made it very good? What was it changed to add this little word here to make it exceptional? What made it?
Creation of man.
We have man. In fact, it says in the Bible, it's not good for man to be alone.
Okay.
So man alone is not good.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't have very there.
Yeah.
So what made it very good?
Your wife?
So we have so we have man and then we have woman.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a wife actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so he went from where everything was good, it went to man not good, and then he created a woman, and then it becomes not only just good, it becomes very good.
So a wife is very good.
A woman is special. All this was spoken in existence. These animals came from the ground and all these natural elements. Man comes from dust.
Yeah.
You and I are dust.
Yeah.
How was a woman created?
She was formed
From
in the
flesh.
unity of God and flesh.
From the side of man. Look, right here with a heart, which means you need to love her, take care of her, and comfort and be her protector. So man is to be her protector. But her design is completely different from all this.
Yeah.
Very unique. Nothing spoken in existence, nothing touched together.
Yeah.
Dirt. I mean, he was made from dust. Dust, you actually have to spend a lot more time in forming in dust. So God spent a lot of time touching and caring. But woman was very unique. But woman made man very good. So what made it very good?
What made her very good?
What is this union of man, woman, and man make it very good?
Enlightenment is love. Okay, man.
Man cannot be love on his own. The union of marriage is a union of love for us to understand our love that God has for us.
Amen.
So all this would be love. It's a big fancy word that people love to use today. But you know, if you have the wrong mindset of love, you can actually be quite taken down the wrong road. So let me ask you, according to the Bible, what is love?
Love is self-sacrificing. Selflessness and not selfishness.
That's correct. But I want you to show it first. The Bible says, if you love me, what did God say?
Keep my commandment.
So,
Love is obedience.
Obedience. The Hebrew mind,
said love is obedience.
Exactly. So when we see the word love, we see obedience in the Hebrew mind. In the Greek mind, Western society, how do they see love?
That's only passions or plus. L-U-S-T.
You can say lust, emotion. It's passion. It's emotion. Exactly right.
It is stimulated from beneath.
So if I say I love my wife, but today she made me angry, now I don't love her. The Greek mind is so distorted, it's so debased. But love, according to the Bible,
In the Hebrew
you
mindset.
never stop loving your wife. The Bible says to commission to men, it says, husbands, love your wife.
That's Christ of the church.
If your wife despises you, you as a man reflecting that area of God will not despise her back. You will love her back. A woman is designed for love. In fact, from my study of relationships, I find that if a man does not love his wife, normally that's a case of divorce. A woman is seeking love all the time, and she doesn't get it, she can look for somewhere else. Now, a man, if he reflects his love of God to her in the proper way, there's no way she wants to divorce him. She must be actually mentally insane if she wants to divorce out of a man who give his life for her. Because he's giving love that she's designed, craving for, fulfilling her with love. There's no way that she'll ever divorce him. In fact, she will submit to a man to get more of that. By submitting to him, she's actually in turn submitting to the source of love, which is God. That means a man is to be the priest, bringing his wife to salvation to God. So you could say marriage is one of our greatest sanctification verses.
Yes, too.
All right. So we have this very good situation of love, but now we still have God on that side, and we have man on this side. What brings this love relationship in connection with God?
The Sabbath.
Amen, brother. How do you know that?
Because the Bible tells us.
Day 7. Exactly. So we have the Sabbath. This brings us to God.
Amen.
The Sabbath, God says, I rested, I know my work, you are designed to reflect my character forever and ever and ever. If we give up on the Sabbath, we give up on the whole concept of reflecting His image.
Can I interject something?
Yeah.
The Sabbath is a golden chain that unites man with his God, his Creator, as redeemed and sanctified.
So, if we say, no, I don't care about the Sabbath, I want to keep Sunday. Most of the world has kept Sunday today. Christians call themselves Sunday keepers. So, if they say, no, I don't care about this Sunday, what are they saying about this?
They are not reflecting the image of the Holy God.
Remember, what is this whole aspect of about? It's love.
Yeah.
What is love about?
Obedience.
Obedience. What does God say?
The Sabbath.
What does it say that it was for a command?
Remember.
Isn't that a command to be obedient?
Yes.
So we say, no, I don't believe this. What disobedient child are you?
Would you like us to read the Sabbath commandment in Exodus chapter 20, verses 8 to 11? So for our viewers, we will read Exodus chapter 20, verses 8 to 11. It reads from the King James Version Bible. Very quickly. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Amen.
Amen.
Now, I want to just, as we're going to finish now, it's interesting that the Spirit prophecy says that the marriage institution is a twin into the Sabbath. So we men do not love their wives, give their lives for their wives like Jesus Christ gave himself for the church. That means putting his wife before you, which is back to the Hebrew mind of faith of love. If this love institution is a reflection on that, which is a twin, means twin is like you resembling the same. So you want to, let's see, I want to know what the Sabbath is about. Welcome to the marriage. I want to know what marriage is about. What is the Sabbath? They reflect each other in the same way. Alright. So if you don't keep the Sabbath, you're saying to God, I don't care what you say, I'm disobedient. You do not possess love. In fact, if you do not possess love, you don't possess God because God is love. So we need to return back to the Sabbath, not Sunday worship. They can say all the fancy things they want to about Sunday. It is still, no matter what they say, it is disobedience to God and is not the fruit of that Spirit. God says, be fruitful and multiply. I mean, fruitful. This is a fruit. Sunday worship is not a fruit. The Sabbath is a fruit. Reflection of the Word of God. I think that's about all I can share. There is more things we can share, but for time's sake, we may end right now. And thank you so much for the privilege of sharing this message. And I really encourage our viewers to really study more into the Hebrew mind. The Bible, all sorts of contradictions, especially as you mentioned the King James, which another word is the authorized version, which is based upon the received text, text receptus.
The true text.
The true text, amen, is correct. We can actually maybe do a study on that some other time. There's so many wonderful things in the Bible, and the Bible is designed the gospel is designed to set us free and not have any bondage and
Free from sin.
Free from sin and bondage to the foolishness of the world. And so let's keep the Sabbath early. Let's honor God by conforming back to God. Let men love their wives. I don't want to find any divorce. I mean, if we find that we love our wives, we should not be divorced in our churches.
And obey the other message.
All this will be back to what God designed. What a wonderful design, and I thank God for that. Would you please pray for us?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Let us pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, in the name of thy Son Jesus Christ, we come. Thank you for your precious words, which you said is a light unto our feet and a lamp. A lamp unto our feet and a light unto our paths, Lord. Please, blessed be yours. May these truths find lodgment in their hearts. May they find a precious friend in Jesus Christ. Until the next time, thank you, Lord, for using us to be a blessing to you. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, Brother Clinton, for your efforts.
Thank you so much for having me.